gorgeous, how are you? Welcome back to another one of my videos where I try and satisfy some of my lack of knowledge, try and fill one of my Swiss cheese brain holes. As you can tell by my very keen fashion sense, I am not the kind of person to really understand what the Met Gala is. Was until I researched for this video. Like, I knew that the Met Gala existed. I knew that it was about fashion. I had absolutely no idea. You could have told me that it was a benefit for saving whales, and I would have been like, yeah, fair enough. I didn't know what it was. People wore pretty dresses, and I was like, oh my gosh, isn't that fabulous? I love the sparkles. So, with a lot of requests from you guys, I decided to educate myself. I decided to learn, and I decided to fill all of my Swiss cheese brain holes and answer every single question I had when it came to the Met Gala. And of course, as always, I decided, you know what? Let's share the knowledge. Let's share the love. And let's bring you on my adventure. And already this quickly into the video, I know that I have confused some people because, hi, if you don't know me, I am JJ, welcome to chaos. I like learning. I like teaching myself things, and typically with my videos, when I give you my notes, my video essay, what I have to say, I do my makeup at the same time. Today the makeup's already on because I'm not going to be doing my makeup at the same time as I give you my thesis on the Met Gala, because I'm not going to lie, my mental health this last week and a half has been increasingly McSpicy. This is the spiciest it's been in quite a long time. So I decided that I just need to take some pressure off of myself wherever I am able to, and one place that I am able to is to just not do my makeup during the filming of this. Like, it seems very little, but sometimes if you do a lot of little things, it builds up to a big difference. So thank you so much for all of your patience, your love and support, and I promise that as soon as I am able to add a teeny bit more pressure onto myself, doing makeup in videos is going to be like one of my top priorities. But with all of that said and done, I have some research to present to you. I have some history to present to you. I have some evolution to present to you. I know at the moment I look more like an art teacher than a history teacher, but I swear this is my history teacher hat. Met Gala has been referenced to be the Oscars of the fashion industry because it is probably the most selective and prestigious fashion event every single year, and it's actually a fundraiser for the Costume Institute at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, or the Met. When I said before that I had no idea what was going on except for, ooh, pretty, I wasn't joking. Oh my gosh. Met Gala, Metropolitan Museum of Art. Makes so much sense once you connect the dots. The money that the gala raises actually funds the Costume Institute for the year, as it holds its collection of thousands, and I'm not joking when I say thousands, of garments and accessories that is increasingly growing with all of its new exhibitions. The Met Gala has always been a fundraiser for the Costume Institute, but what we know it as today is incredibly different to its origins, and its origins and evolution has been credited to three very powerful women. Eleanor Lambert, Diana Vreeland, and Anna Wintour are said to be the primary reason why the Met Gala has become the most anticipated and celebrated fashion event of the year. Before there was the Met's Costume Institute, there was actually the Museum of Costume Art that was established in 1937 by Irene Lewison. Irene was the founder of the Neighborhood Playhouse, whose collection of historic and regional costumes became the foundation of the museum's holdings. The collection's original intention was to provide historical accuracy to the Playhouse's productions. The museum's statement of purpose noted that it would include the dress and accessories of all which may serve industrialists, artists, art historians, craftsmen, and students of all kind. Early board members who were credited the most for the foundations of the Costume Institute are of course Irene, but also theatre designer Aileen Bernstein. And one little extra note to add that I personally find fun, but I can understand if not everyone is sitting there being like, wow, that's so fun! One little fun note to add is that another early board member for the Neighborhood Playhouse and the Museum of Costume Art is Eleanor Lambert, who is a fashion publicist, who, as I mentioned before, is credited to the origins of the Met Gala. All the pieces of the puzzle are kind of joined in together and I love it. It was in December of 1944 when the Met announced a merger with the Museum of Costume Art, which officially took place in 1946 with the financial support of the fashion industry. Meaning that the collection of over 8,000 pieces that the Museum of Costume Art had became the foundation of the Met's Costume Institute. And from my research, from my understanding, the continual financial support from the fashion industry came from the brilliant mind of Eleanor Lambert. Eleanor Lambert, also known as the Empress of Fashion, which is that title not absolutely delicious. The Empress of Fashion was an American fashion publicist who, as I said before, was an early board member for the Neighborhood Playhouse and the Museum of Costume Art. Some extra fun facts about Eleanor is that she actually started Vanity Fair's very selective and prestigious best dressed list in 1940. She started New York Fashion Week in 1943. This is the mother of New York Fashion Week, everyone. Of course, she is the person that birthed the Met Gala out of her brain. New York Fashion Week and the Met Gala. One person. And in 1962, so after the Met Gala was established, she started the CFDA, which is the Council of Fashion Designers of America. So really, Eleanor Lambert single-handedly built the foundations of the American fashion industry, which has served as inspiration for other countries' fashion industries as well for decades. One person. I feel so underaccomplished when I film these videos sometimes. So it's really no surprise that in December of 1948, the Empress of Fashion created and executed the first Met Gala. The first Met Gala was actually a very indulgent midnight soiree where invitations were titled The Party of the Year and guests could purchase tickets for $50. According to a random inflation calculator that I found on Google, $50 back then is equivalent to $700 today, which allegedly a ticket for the Met Gala today costs about $35,000-ish. The first Met Gala and Met Galas to follow didn't actually occur at the Met. The first gala was actually held at the Waldorf Astoria, and I hope I'm saying that right, but I am pretty sure that I am saying that very incorrectly, but the first gala was actually held there, and then the next few were held at different locations, including the Astoria, but also Central Park and the Rainbow Room at the Rockefeller Center. So for quite a few of these Costume Institute fundraising galas, they weren't the Met Gala, they were just these really fun, indulgent midnight soirees that New York's elite were invited to, which is similar-ish to how it is today, but I think it's similar in the way of intent and purpose, not so much looks and aesthetics, because even though back then the midnight soiree was quite indulgent, today in comparison the Met Gala is a lot more extravagant, a lot more exuberant, a lot more indulgent, and I think if Eleanor Lambert was alive today, she would be all for its evolution. This Met Gala evolution is most attributed to the incredible work of former Vogue editor-in-chief Diana Vreeland when she joined the Costume Institute as a consultant. Diana Vreeland, once again, is a very influential, very powerful figure in the fashion industry, and once again has quite a reputation, but where Eleanor Lambert is known as the Empress of Fashion, Diana had a bit of a reputation for being a monster. From my research, from what I've read, from my understanding, people did have a lot of love and respect for her, but people also knew not to piss her off. Her fashion career really started when she was a columnist for Harper's Bazaar with her column Why Don't You?, where she inspired her readers by asking them the question, why don't you, when it came to their choices in fashion. She worked hard. She showed that she was serious about fashion, producing such covers as this one, which, ooh, does that red not pop? And eventually became the fashion editor of Harper's Bazaar. And another cheeky little fun fact, she actually gave advice to the First Lady Jackie Kennedy on more than one occasion. It's more than a cheeky little feather in your cap now, isn't it? And two of my favorite little info nuggets about Diana Vreeland is apparently it was her being passed over for promotion in 1957 at Harper's that led to her leaving the company, leaving the magazine in 1962 to become the editor-in-chief of Vogue in 1963. This idea of, oh, you don't appreciate me, you can miss me, I love that attitude. That is something that I need to adopt. You don't appreciate me for what I have, you don't appreciate me for who I am, then guess what? You can kiss my ass as I walk out that fucking door. The absolute power in that I just find absolutely infectious. But also, second little cheeky nugget, I expect nothing less from the woman that, according to actress Ali McGraw, back in the day when she was Diana Vreeland's assistant, Diana actually tossed something at her. And instinctively, Ali caught it and tossed it back at her, and Diana's response was, "You are the rudest girl I've ever met." I'm sorry, Fambulance. was, but you tell something first. Diana was said to have a taste for the novel, for the bizarre, for the eccentric, a taste for fashion that questioned beauty standards. And from my research, it was actually this taste for the novel, taste for the bizarre, taste for the eccentric that got a little bit too costly, or a lot of it too costly for Vogue, and it actually led to her firing in 1971. And also from my research, even though, for lack of a better phrasing, people feared Vreeland, they actually had the same amount of love for her. They loved her and respected her as much as they feared her, and a lot of people cried when it came to her departure from the magazine. But Diana's talents and keen eye for fashion would not go to waste, because in 1972 she was actually asked to be a consultant for the Met's Costume Institute. She, of course, brought with her her taste for the novel, bizarre, and eccentric, and was creating successful exhibition after exhibition, which became the theme for the Met Gala. But she was also the consultant to bring the fundraiser to the Met Gala itself, with the help of her decorator, Billy Baldwin, who helped her turn her home into what is known as the Garden of Hell. There's some pieces of information where I don't think I'm gonna completely understand, so I just leave it. There's a lot of them. But by her bringing the fundraiser to the Met itself, as well as making the exhibitions themselves the themes of the gala, she was not only bringing fundraising to the Met, but she was also bringing eyes to the exhibitions itself. And she was essentially making the gala feed two mouths at the same time. This is a bad analogy. She helped make this fundraiser be more than just a fundraiser, because don't get me wrong, the party of the year, very, very successful. Without Eleanor Lambert, we would be nowhere. But without Diana Vreeland, we wouldn't have the exhibitions themselves being the focal point of the gala. Not only was she doing all of that, because apparently all of that wasn't enough, she was also helping evolve the guest list. It wasn't just about New York's elite, it was also about New York's celebrities as well. Invitees included Angela Lansbury, Bianca Jagger, Iman, Cher, Diana Ross, which was a touch scandalous at the time, because apparently these mainstream celebrities just weren't elite enough for the gala initially. So really, what I found out through my research is all of this drama about, oh my gosh, social media influencers are being invited to the Met Gala. That's so scandalous. Not the first time we've had this kind of drama with the Met Gala. Either way, the exhibitions and themes for the Met Gala that I was able to fact check, Aussie accent's getting in the way, the ones that I was able to fact check were created by the hands of Diana Vreeland were the world of Balenciaga, the 10s, the 20s, the 30s, inventive clothes, romantic and glamorous Hollywood design, American woman of style, the glory of Russian costume, Vanity Fair, the treasure trove, fashions of the Habsburg, the Manchu dragon, costumes of China, the Qing dynasty, the 18th century woman, Saint Laurent, and costumes of India. And you know that Diana Vreeland was definitely doing something right when it came to the Costume Institute and the Met Gala itself, because the way that she curated and developed it, it has carried on for decades since her stepping down in the 80s due to her failing health. The last exhibition that I could clarify was curated by Diana Vreeland was Costumes of Royal India in 1985. She was actually celebrated as a part of the theme in 1987, being in style, celebrating 50 years of the Costume Institute, and she was the theme for 1993's Met Gala, being Diana Vreeland in moderate style. But unfortunately, Diana wouldn't live to see her legacy be the entire theme of the Met Gala, because in 1989, at the age of 85, she passed away due to heart failure. I will be honest, between Diana stepping down in 1995, my understanding and research does have quite a few holes in it, because either the information was recorded but lost, or the information has now been monetized. Because the internet's only existed since 1983, if my memory serves me correct. It's only existed since 1983, and even then it wasn't super accessible or understood. And Google has only existed since 1998. That's right, if you were born before 1998, congratulations, you're older than Google. I know, it hurts. So because of that, all of this information was recorded via paper, which is fine, old school is good, but because it was recorded via paper, unless people archived it and have uploaded it to the internet since then, it's not going to exist on the internet. And then finding the paper archives, it's going to be pretty difficult if you don't know where to look, but also I'm in lockdown right now, so even if I knew where to look, I can't. And even then, if we are lucky to have this information archived and uploaded to the internet, some lovely people are deciding to monetize it. Because of course, New York Times, I want to be paying a $5 subscription a week to read your old ass information so that I can fill in my pockets of knowledge. So I haven't paid for any of the subscriptions, even though some of the information and answers to my questions could be in those articles, because I don't want to, but also personally, I think that education should be free, and information and knowledge like that shouldn't be locked up for those who don't have the disposable income for it. I understand where it comes from, and I hate where it comes from, because education and knowledge isn't a privilege, but so many people like to treat it as a privilege for their own stupid, foul reasons. But regardless, from my understanding, the Met Gala carried on as usual the way that Diana Vreeland curated and developed it, with the help of Pat Buckley. Pat was one of New York's elite, and from my understanding, when Diana wasn't in control of the Met Gala, it was Pat that took the lead until Anna Wintour took over, but I could 100% be incorrect with this information, so take it with a grain of salt. It was in 1995 when Anna Wintour, also known as Nuclear Winter, which that is a nickname. It was 1995 when the editor-in-chief of Vogue, the artistic director of Condé Nast, Anna Wintour, took over the Met Gala and therefore took over the legacy of the Met Gala that Diana Vreeland left behind. According to a Forbes article in 2017, Anna Wintour, in her 2-decade reign of the Met Gala, has raised over $175 million. So Anna definitely knows what she's doing, because you don't raise over $175 million at an annual fundraiser if you don't know what you're doing. But she's also had quite a successful and noteworthy fashion career. She was actually the editor-in-chief at British Vogue in 1985 until she came over to American Vogue in 1988 and actually brought it back from the brink of extinction by the sounds of it. Because in 1988, Elle was actually becoming quite a pesky nuisance for Vogue, taking some, if not a lot, of their market. It was under Anna's reign and direction that some Vogue covers that broke all of the rules were published. Vogue covers had been focusing on beautiful close-ups of models with jewelry, hair accessories, head accessories, and makeup to really make their beauty pop. It was Anna's first cover that started to shape Vogue into the Vogue we know today, showing off a hot couture mid-shot of Israeli model Michaela. Her 1989 May cover actually was a bit scandalous because it featured the first celebrity on the cover, a poolside photo of Madonna, who in 1989 was known for being quite controversial. Because of all of these risks that Anna was taking, and because of all of the risks that she was directing Vogue to take, Vogue became once again the most dominant fashion magazine in America. And on top of all of that, because apparently saving American Vogue just wasn't enough for her, in 2014 a wing of the Costume Institute was actually named after Anna Wintour. So in my personal opinion, it is no wonder why the Met Gala is getting more extravagant and more indulgent every year in the season of Nuclear Winter. There is of course a lot more to these women, their careers and their lives, but from this brief little glimpse it is quite easy to see and understand how it is that the Met Gala not only came to be, but also how and why over the years it has just gotten bigger and better, and why the Met Gala has become more than just for the rich socialites of New York. It has genuinely become, or at least started to become, about the exhibitions, about the Costume Institute, about the fashion. Even though I am pretty sure there are enough fashion enthusiasts in the world with very deep pockets that would be able to fund the Costume Institute themselves, but hey, any excuse for a party. One thing that I've seen and actually personally experienced in the realms of creativity and really everything is this mentality of you're only as good as your last performance. Which, don't get me wrong, it can be a great mentality to have when it's healthy. It can be a good motivation tool when it's healthy, but when it starts to fuel the self-sabotaging fires, then not really that great, is it? But from my perspective, my personal opinion, this is why we see so many YouTubers get more eccentric over the course of their career. This is why we see so many makeup YouTubers get more extravagant with their looks, because you are only as good as your last performance. There's only so many times you can do a nude eye and a bold lip and still have people losing their minds and wanting to come back to your channel. This kind of thinking, this kind of a you're only as good as your last performance, I am positive in my personal opinion that this has influenced the Met Gala over the years, has influenced American Vogue in general over the years, but also just the fashion industry as a whole. Because how many times can you reinvent the little black dress and still have people buy it? How many times can you feature a beauty shot of a model on the front of your magazine and still have people buy it? So in my personal opinion, fashion was and is constantly trying to beat its last performance, both individually for the designers, but as a community, because in fashion specifically for this video, but in so many different other fields, in fashion specifically, you want to be the best designer, or at least you want to be a designer that cannot be compared, because if you can be compared, what impact, what influence are you really having on the industry? And it's always these designs, these designers that are constantly bettering their last performance or questioning the standards of beauty in the industry at that time that are being praised by these magazines, being praised by people like Anna Wintour. So as the fashion that these designers were publishing was evolving, so did the magazine, so did the fashion industry as a whole. But of course with the Eleanor Lambert, Diana Vreeland and Anna Wintours of the world. And this mentality of always bettering your last performance was of course always seen at the Met Gala. Each year had to be bigger and better than the last. And if designers couldn't keep up, then it's sink or swim, love. Which is why, in my personal opinion, we've seen quite a drastic evolution at some of the garments being worn at the Met Gala. Because take for instance 1995's theme of haute couture. And genuinely, you know that if designers were given that theme today, they would be losing their minds. They would be absolutely going for it. What we would be seeing on that Met Gala carpet would be... you would be scraping my brains off the wall for days. But the haute couture of 1995, it was, look, it was cute, it fit well, but I could buy that off ASOS now. Let's compare a few photos. In 1995, we have Gwyneth Paltrow wearing Calvin Klein, which, don't get me wrong, super duper cute, but it's haute couture and that's what you're giving me. In 1995, you also have Kate Moss wearing Calvin Klein. Once again, super cute, really like the color. That shade of yellow is a little bit eccentric, enjoy that, but also I could get that from Cotton On. So in 1995, that is what is classified as haute couture by Calvin Klein. Jump to 2017, where the theme was Comme des Garçons, I'm pretty sure. 2017, you have Julianne Moore wearing Calvin Klein. Now, I don't know about you, but if I was playing a guessing game and I had to guess which garment was worn at the haute couture themed Met Gala, I would be choosing Julianne Moore's, right? Like, it may not be my favorite thing that I've ever seen at the Met Gala, but come on, that is way more haute couture than the other ones are. She's kind of cute though, don't get me wrong, but me and Apricot, ooh, Apricot. But this concept doesn't surprise me. This is very typical for arts and creative fields because different technologies and techniques are being developed every single year. If a designer really wanted to, they could now 3D print a whole garment. If I said that back in the 80s and the 90s, people would be sitting there asking, who the fuck is this lunatic? 3D printing? We've only mastered the two-dimensional world. So to me, it makes sense that the fashion every year at the Met Gala is just getting more. It's getting bigger, it's getting better, it's getting more luxurious, it is getting more extravagant because one, we have this mentality of you always have to better your last performance, and that includes everyone's performance the year before, but also we have all of these new technologies and techniques that are more accessible to these designers than they would have been like 3 years ago because technology and techniques are rapidly increasing. They are rapidly developing. Because genuinely 1995's haute couture Met Gala or 2016's Manus Ex Machina, fashion in an age of technology, or 2017's Comme des Garçons Met Gala, or 2018's Heavenly Bodies Met Gala, or 2019's Camp Met Gala. But one thing that I found in my research that I really enjoyed finding, but also I could see it evolving as the years went on, and I am excited to see it further evolve, is that the fashion at the Met Gala doesn't seem to be isolated to a specific gender. It doesn't seem to be isolated to a specific sexuality, which, fuck yeah. My thoughts and opinions summed up in one phrase. Fuck yeah. I really enjoyed seeing this blurring of lines, and I really enjoyed watching it develop because over the last 4 or 5 years it has developed, and I'm really excited to see where it develops too. But I could also see its influence when it came to the male fashion on the Met Gala carpet, because the standard of beauty for men at the Met Gala has also started to change as well. Because since the existence of the Met Gala, majority of the men at the Met Gala red carpet will wear a black tux. Don't get me wrong, it's a classic, but that can be seen anywhere. At any kind of award ceremony, at any kind of event, a man can wear and will wear a black tux, and that is fine if that is what you want to do. But at the Met Gala, come on. I'm a greedy bitch, I know, but I want to see more. I want to see more Darren Chris's, more Omar Harwick's, more Jared Leto's, more Chadwick Boseman's, more Billy Porter's. I'm starting to figure out that I'm genuinely like a Met Gala goblin. I'm a Met Gala dragon. That's what I am. I hoard all of the jewels. I'm just sitting off the back like, yes. Not only is all of the fashion evolving, but so is the Met Gala itself. We have, of course, talked about already how it used to be a midnight soiree amongst the New York socialites, and it's now developed into this prestigious night of fashion. But if you look at some of the photos from the 90s Met Galas, you can see all of the guests and the New York elite walking around in gazebos. Really, if the background aesthetics look worse than my year 10 formal, you're doing something wrong, because that was an absolute choice. So from what I could see, there was definitely a plethora of gazebos for our fashion elite up until about 2006. 2006's Met Gala theme was Anglomania, tradition and transgression of British fashion. There wasn't a dynamic aesthetic development for the Met Gala itself, but what I could see was in 2005, there wasn't any red carpet on the steps leading up to the Met, whereas in 2006, the Met Gala red carpet did stretch up the stairs to the Met. So not a dynamic change, but it started to look a little bit more expensive, a little bit more luxurious. But of course, don't fear, our favorite fashion gazebos were still very present at the 2006 Met Gala. 2010 was the next time we got any kind of development to the aesthetics of the Met Gala itself. Once again, not dynamic. I just thought it was fun to note down. At every Met Gala, there is the barriers between the photographers and the fashion, but this year was the first year that there was a white cloth. 2009, it was just some metal bars between the photographers and the talent, the fashion. But 2010, we have a nice white cloth. Actually, a bit of an understatement before, because there was a bit of a dynamic change because our favorite fashion gazebos were retired. I know, heartbreaking. We have to say goodbye to the fashion gazebos because now we have some beautiful cloth draping to match the cloth barriers. Comparing the 90s to 2010, there is quite a significant difference in the aesthetics of the Met Gala because it feels less like your uncle's backyard party and feels more like an actual fundraiser now. Yeah, it's small subtle differences, but it's enough to make the whole entire Met Gala feel a little bit more expensive. And if you are paying that much for a ticket, you want to make sure that the whole entire place feels as expensive as the garments that are walking your red carpet. 2012 was the next year that I could see some definite aesthetic advances at the Met Gala. From what I could tell, the entrance gazebo had a major makeover, which may not seem like much, but compared to 1995, it is a drastic change that I think makes it look a little bit more expensive. We've gone from Vogue and Racecourse realness to I feel poor looking at that entrance. Also, 2 years after their debut, the cloth barriers that separated the photographers from the fashion were swapped out for bush barriers. We now have beautiful hedges running up the staircase, which may once again not feel like a huge development, but compared 2012 to 1990, it is huge. Between 2012 to 2016, there wasn't any real development that I could see. There might have been small bits and pieces, but there wasn't anything noteworthy. But in 2016, I couldn't find a concrete reason as to why, but if I am correct, I really enjoy the vibe of it. In 2016, we saw no red carpet. We saw just a Met Gala carpet. 2015 was the last year of the red carpet. 2016, the first not red carpet was cream with some light pink and red accents. And I don't know this for sure, but I think the possible reason why we don't have a red carpet for the Met Gala anymore is because red carpets are way too mainstream. If you can have a red carpet at a movie premiere, then it's not selective enough. It's not prestigious enough for the Met Gala. And even though maybe that's a little bit too extra, maybe that's a little bit too indulgent, I'm here for it. My favorite not red carpet Met Gala carpet was the Camp Themes carpet, which was this really nice pink. No one's surprised. Reifenstein likes pink. Oh my gosh. Never would have known. I naturally want to be flamingo. Speaking of 2019, not only do we have my favorite blushing Met Gala carpet, but also our bush barriers now have roses that match the carpet. Once again, subtle change, subtle difference, but I think it really works. I don't know if we're gonna have the roses this year. Maybe we will have some sort of other extra flair to the bush barriers that will match the carpet again. I'm not too sure, but I can guarantee you that we are not going to have a red carpet this year because I feel as though it's gonna be too mainstream. If so, what what's the carpet color gonna be? And if floral arrangements or just differences to the bush barriers is a thing again, I am interested to see what that's gonna be, or if they're just gonna get rid of the bush barriers and just give us something else. Small, subtle aesthetic changes, but really compare 1995 haute couture to 2019 camp. As the fashion has developed, so has the event itself. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. You may think that I'm a basic bitch, and you would be correct. So not only has the Met Gala evolved with the way that it's run, with the way that it functions, with where it is, how it looks, and how the fashion is, but also the last piece of evolution that I want to highlight is these queens of the gala. From my research, from my understanding, 3 names pop up quite frequently in public opinion as queens of the Met Gala. The fashion that all of them wore on the red carpet was of course extravagant, but in the case of the original queen, Cher, her fashion has been a muse to many designers and many designs for decades to come. The 2 most notable Met Gala attendances from Cher were in 1974, the theme being romantic and glamorous Hollywood design, where she debuted and wore Bob Mackie's naked dress, which... ...1995 haute couture, Cher 1974. What happened? This silhouette, this design is one that has been readapted and redesigned by everyone to fit everyone over and over. Genuinely, I don't think in the last 10 years there has been a Met Gala without a dress of similar design or silhouette. I think at this point, this design is now just a staple design for the Met Gala. Which fair, because this dress is absolutely stunning and for the theme was absolutely perfect. But this dress was actually inspired by Jean Louise's design for Marilyn Monroe's Happy Birthday Mr. President couture. And yes, some people may think that I am giving Cher way too much credit when it comes to this dress, when it comes to being an inspiration to so many other people's dresses at the Met Gala and so many people's fashion at so many different events in general, but Bob Mackie on more than one occasion has actually specified that Cher is his muse, so I would say that she is more than just a walking mannequin for this dress. Especially considering in 1985's Met Gala, where the theme was royal costumes of India, we were once again given this absolute feast for the eyes. Stunning. And once again, is this dress not just a staple piece for the Met Gala? I'm pretty sure in the last 5-10-ish years, there has been a similar dress to this one every year at the Met Gala, which isn't a bad thing because, woo! She is stunning! But I'm just saying that you're obviously doing something right if 2 of your designs are staple pieces for the Met Gala. There is a reason why Bob Mackie and Cher were known as a dynamic duo at the Met Gala. But not only have these 2 dresses inspired pieces for decades at the Met Gala, but at 2019's camp theme Met Gala, Emily Ratajkowski and J-Lo both wore stunning couture that was undeniably inspired by Bob Mackie's muse, Cher. And that's why so many people consider Cher to be one, if not the original queen of the Met Gala. But even though Cher was definitely a queen of the Met Gala, she didn't really seem to have a reign. She just showed up, dropped our jaws, went home as if it was a regular day and nothing ever happened, and just left us to pick up our own pieces. The absolute power. First Met Gala queen that I could see to have a reign was of course Queen Bee, was of course Beyonce, because year after year her couture that she wore to the Met Gala people were anticipating and losing their minds over. Her first attendance in 2008 definitely doesn't live up to this standard. What she was wearing was cute, it was sweet, it was very fitted, it was lovely, but knowing what Beyonce comes to the Met Gala in years to come, it's a really nice appetizer. Like, it's nice and it's enjoyable, but you want more. Beyonce skipped 2009 and 2010, and the next time she attended was 2011, where the theme was Alexander McQueen. And this is where we start to see the real detail, luxuriousness, and extravagance of Queen Bee's Met Gala looks that we are just used to, and at this point crave. That gold detail, that gold embroidery, oh, just the concept of it, simple, but the intricate detail, that is what I want. The only downside of that outfit, I am telling you now, is jumpsuits already terrify me when it comes to having to go to the bathroom. That would be the devil to, if you are on that carpet and you have to go to the bathroom, you're done for. Then between 2012 to 2016, Queen Bee was dressed by Givenchy Haute Couture, and each year it just got better and better, and this is what I mean by 2008 was an appetizer, and now we're starting to get the real feast. And in 2015 and 2016, she is rocking the naked dress. maybe slightly different to Cher's, but at the same time, you know where that inspiration came from. Shit! There is not enough words in the English language that really articulate my thoughts and opinions when it comes to all of the garments that Queen Bee has worn at the Met Gala. And I may not be a fashion expert, but I like pretty colours, I like things that sparkle, I like textures, I like shapes, and I like fabrics, so that's at least something. And my favourite garment that Queen Bee has ever worn to the Met Gala is probably going to be a bit of a controversial one, because I remember seeing people saying that it looked like a blister, but I really liked her 2016 look. Some people may say it looks like she is covered in boils, but I like it. I think it's perfect for the theme. The theme was Manus Ex Machina, fashion in an age of technology, an exhibition based on the dichotomy of handmade versus machine-made haute couture. And from what I could tell, it's made out of latex or something like latex, which isn't a very typically used medium when it comes to haute couture. So from what I could tell, this piece has both elements of machine-made haute couture, but also handmade haute couture, which is that not the point of the theme? Queen Bee didn't actually show up to 2017, 2018, or 2019, and we don't know if she's going to show up to 2020. If she does go to 2020, woo! You're going to be scraping my brains off of the walls for days. She was seemingly invited to 2017, 2018, and 2019, and for some of them even had the couture already picked out ready to go, but for whatever reason didn't attend. Apparently Jay-Z could see that she was very overworked and that she was just burning out because she'd done 2 Coachella performances in the space of 2 weeks or something like that. So instead he paid for her to have a holiday, which looked fair. Finally, the reigning queen of the Met Gala, Rihanna. Did you think I was going to do a Met Gala video and not mention Rihanna? Because genuinely, first Met Gala, last Met Gala. This is the character development I want. Rihanna's appearances at the Met Gala are always just stunning in all of the ways, and there is a reason why they are so celebrated and so anticipated, because they just are absolutely jaw-dropping, and she just does it so effortlessly. She just shows up like, yep, I'm here, and then leaves, and all of us are just sitting there like, excuse me. But the 3 attendances that really blew everyone's mind were 2015, 2017, and 2018. To the point where Andre Leon Talley specified in a Vogue interview this year that Rihanna's 2015 garment was the best red carpet look on the Met Gala carpet ever. For those who don't know, Andre Leon Talley is an American fashion journalist and the former creative director and American editor-at-large of Vogue magazine, and was notably Anna Wintour's right-hand man for years, attending Met Galas and runways with her. But unfortunately, all wasn't as it seemed, with discussions of the toxicity of their relationship in his memoir, The Chiffon Trenches. So if Andre Leon Talley is specifying that Rihanna's 2015 garment is the best piece that has ever walked the Met Gala red carpet, that's saying something. Now, don't get me wrong, all 3 of these garments, absolutely stunning. 2015, 2017, 2018 are absolutely breathtaking, and the attention to detail is so mind-blowing that I am genuinely calling witchcraft. The yellow of her headpiece matches the embroidery on her fur train. That is the attention to detail I need, I crave, I want, all of the things. The textures, the shapes, the silhouettes, the color story of 2017 is witchcraft. And 2018 made me religious. I don't know what the religion is. I don't know who I praise. I don't know how to practice it. All I know is that I pray to this photo. One of the main reasons specifically with 2018's Heavenly Body themed Met Gala garment that she's wearing, the main reason why I lose my mind so hard over this one specifically is because I know for a fact, because she said it in her interview with Liza Koshy, the beading, the gems, the sequins, all of it have been hand-stitched. That shit ain't normal. That is otherworldly. That is witchcraft. Someone sold their soul to the devil to be able to do that, because that is... But also an honorable mention to the subtle sexiness and sophistication of the 2014 garment that she wore by Stella McCartney, because this, in my research, I am not joking, had me mesmerized for a full half hour. It's so good, and I don't understand why. It's just so good. Regardless of the hypnotism, these three queens being Cher, Beyonce, and Rihanna, they are queens of the Met Gala for a reason. Because they came to the gala and they did not mess around. They came, they conquered, they dropped our jaws, and they left as if they did nothing. They left as if it was effortless. They just left, and we are all sitting there on the ground just trying to process the absolute feast that our eyes were just given. As I said, I'm not educated when it comes to fashion and how it works and why things look so pretty when they're constructed a certain way, but all I know is that I was mind blown over and over and over and over researching for this video. And you know what? I ain't mad. There, of course, has been other celebrities, other garments, other pieces that have left me as a little pile of slush with the mental feast that I was given, but these people, even though stunning, even though incredible, haven't had a Met Gala royalty moment, haven't had a reign the same way that Cher, Beyonce, and Rihanna have had. And a lot of that was seen in the camp theme for me personally. That theme, if you can tell, she's a bit... Summarized camp theme was my favorite theme, no one's surprised, but even though a lot of people have graced the Met Gala carpet and have been absolutely stunning and breathtaking and just made me question my existence at looking at the garments, even though they have done that, they haven't been Met Gala royalty. They haven't had a queen moment, a king moment, or a majesty moment the same way that Beyonce, Cher, and Rihanna have had. And with all of that history, all of that evolution, we finally get to this year's Met Gala. We finally get to the 2021 Met Gala, and already, and the Met Gala hasn't even happened yet, there is quite a lot of drama, and I'm really excited to just see everything unfold. And of course, I'm most excited to see the color of the carpet and the bush barriers. But in all seriousness, the first piece of evolution that we are definitely going to be seeing in this year's Met Gala is the effect of the pandemic. 2020's Met Gala didn't happen because of COVID-19, which is, I think, a great choice because fashion, people's lives. But because of this, that means that 2021's Met Gala, which is happening in a few days, is the first Met Gala to happen in a pandemic. And because of this, guests have to be double vaccinated. I misspoke, they have to be fully vaccinated, which means that they have to have both of the shots. To research for this video, I did go back and look through some of the guest lists just to see if there were any outspoken anti-vaxxers that attended in previous years, and I think there might have been a handful, but all of them were pretty forgettable in all honesty, so not really a loss if they don't attend. But not only will guests have to be fully vaccinated to attend, they will also have to wear masks inside, which means that there is the possibility that we are going to have masks that are genuinely a part of the ensemble, not really an add-on. But also a part of me is excited to see if we are going to have masks be complementing to the ensemble, or if we are going to have masks that are contrasting to the ensemble, or if we are going to have masks that are the focal point of the ensemble, because the theme this year actually has a very important conversation behind it. Or depending on how designers interpret the theme, there is the potential to have some very important conversations. The theme for this year is In America, a Lexicon of Fashion, which focuses on the vocabulary of American fashion and transforming that into garments, which to me I am fascinated by because I think there could be some really intricate, really detailed, really abstract ideas that walk on the Met Gala carpet. Of course, the theme for this year's Met Gala is the same as the exhibition, but this year's exhibition is actually a two-parter, which I think is kind of dope. But regardless, the theme for this year is the same as the exhibition, and some of the pieces from the exhibition have already been revealed. The piece that speaks to me the most, and the one that I see the most power in the possibility for this theme, is the Who Gets to Be American sash dress, designed by Kurubal Gurung, and I hope that I am saying that name correctly. But knowing me, I definitely probably have not. But regardless, I have included their interview with ABC in my description to this video because I, in all honesty, cannot do justice to this interview. I cannot do justice to their words, so I encourage anyone who wants to read it to read it. But what I am seeing from their interview and from so many of the sources that I used to research for this video is that America and the world in general is in one of its most controversial, contrasting, and confusing moments in history. There is so much love and support from complete strangers, but at the same time, there is so much unjustified hate from people just simply for the color of a person's skin, simply because of who someone loves, simply for living as their authentic self. My very simplified opinion on this is just that we don't get to choose if we're brought into this world or not. And who we are brought into this world as authentically isn't our choice either. And I don't think anyone should be given any hate for that. I think any level of discrimination is far too much and unnecessary. So this idea, this concept of who gets to be American or what is American can be both incredibly broad but incredibly narrow depending on the person that you are talking to. And I think we're going to see the same narrowness and broadness in the interpretation of this year's Met Gala theme, because the pandemic has brought us all together in sometimes the most wholesome way, but also has divided us and torn us apart in the most volatile way. And because of that, it's brought so much more emotion and depth to art, and because of that, the fashion industry. And considering the controversial year that Condé Nast, the media empire that owns Vogue, has had this last year with their history of racism, and this theme has the potential, and I say potential with hesitation, the potential for the Met Gala to separate itself away from this, but also help separate Vogue from its parent stupidity. I'm not American, I'm not a person of color, and my voice and what I have to say and what I think is not the important one in this, but what I am hoping to see is a lot of conversations with the pieces that will be seen at the Met Gala. My hopes are not high, but I hope that there are some conversations at the Met Gala, because to underestimate this theme and the potential of this theme and not really going for it in such a public way, I think would be a waste. It may not change the world, but it could at least get some people thinking. So this is why I found some of the Met Gala drama that's happened over the last few weeks so dumb, because as I said very early on in the video, a lot of influencers have been invited to this year's Met Gala. Oh my gosh, scandalous. Some people have been specifying that too many influencers are joining the guest list and that it's becoming less prestigious as the years go on, because last year we had Liza Koshy, Lily Singh and James Charles, and then before that we had Liza Koshy, but also in 2015 we had Casey Neistat. But the reason why this became quite an intense debate, and I mean intense because everyone was reporting on it, is because of a fake invitation list that floated around. A fake invitation list floated around and people lost their fucking minds. Genuinely, my opinion when it comes to if influencers should or shouldn't be at the Met Gala is I don't give a hot diggity damn as long as I get to see the pretty outfits. Simple pleasures in life. Sydney's in a lockdown, just let me see the pretty outfits. The only time I have an opinion as to if I think someone should or shouldn't be attending the Met Gala is if I think that person's a trash person or not. Being invited to the Met Gala is incredibly selective and incredibly prestigious. There is a waiting list upon waiting list. Some people have waited years to be able to get to the Met Gala. Some people have been waiting and just have never attended because they've never been approved, because every single person who is invited by Anna Wintour. So if you are ticked off to attend the Met Gala, Anna Wintour herself has said that you have done something right to attend the most selective and prestigious fashion event of the year. So with some of these influencers having consistent toxic behavior, some of them having sexual misconduct and sexual assault allegations against them, and some of them having quite a history of racism, I just don't think that those people should attend. Inviting these people to the Met Gala gives these people a platform, gives them a tick of approval, gives these people celebration for being the best of the best, which, considering the last 4-ish years for some of these influencers, I just don't think they deserve, personally. I do not want to celebrate them the same way that I do not want to celebrate Casey Affleck. Giving these people this kind of platform, giving these people this kind of tick of approval, giving these people this kind of celebration undermines the severity of their awful behavior, which is why some people were upset by this fake guest list when they didn't realize it was fake, because James Charles, Jeffree Star and Nikita Dragun have a very toxic history behind them, some of it being racist. And as I said before, with this year's theme, there is the potential that there could be some beautiful conversation pieces walking the Met Gala carpet, and having some people on there with a history of racism. Like, really? I understand that 2 of the 3, being James Charles and Jeffree Star, have apologized for their history of racism, not Nikita Dragun, but that apology isn't for me to deny or accept. But I do know from what I've seen on the internet, a lot of people are not happy with history of racism and then being invited to the Met Gala when there is such an importance with the conversations that could happen on that carpet. So to simplify, as I said before, do I think that influencers should be gracing the Met Gala carpet? Sure, why not? As long as I get to see the pretty outfits. But like any guest that attends the Met Gala, I think there could be a lot of damage done with the wrong person. In all honesty, would love to see Liza Koshy there again. And in all honesty, Emma Chamberlain, I don't think is is a bad idea. I understand that people want her to be relatable, but she's done so much work when it comes to the high fashion industry that I'm surprised she hasn't been there already. As for the TikTokers, because this is really what upset people, as for the TikTokers, my opinion is probably a bit controversial, but as long as the person isn't trash and I get to see the pretty outfits, I don't give a hot diggity damn. I don't care. I just want to see the fashion. I just want to see the conversations this year. As long as the person isn't trash and I get to see that, I'm happy. I'm as happy as a pig in shit. The part that I found funny was that news outlets were reporting on this story saying, oh my gosh, Charli D'Amelio is going to the Met Gala and it's no longer prestigious and selective, and they were losing their absolute minds over it. But they have access to all of the information that I've given to you in this video. So one thing that they would have known is that Anna Wintour has a rule that no one under the age of 18 can attend the Met Gala. Charli's under 18. Come on, guys. My thought process with this is the last Met Gala to happen was in 2019, and at that Met Gala, Billie Eilish would have been 17, and Billie Eilish would have been the biggest, or at least one of the biggest names in the music industry. So you would have expected that she would have been invited, especially considering that this year she is one of the co-chairs. So if Anna Wintour isn't going to be making an exception for Billie Eilish in 2019, I highly doubt that she is going to be making an exception for Charli D'Amelio in 2021. It's not rocket science, yet so many of these news outlets, oh my god, Charli D'Amelio is going to the Met Gala. Really, is she? From my understanding, we don't know who's attending the Met Gala until the Met Gala happens. But also, I'm not surprised that some of these news outlets were reporting the news like this because relevancy is more important than the truth, right? But regardless of what influencers are invited this year and from what social media platform they are most popular on, as I said in my James Charles Butterfly Effect video, I think the intention was always to have more social media influencers on the Met Gala carpet. I think there was always the intention for more social media influencers to attend the Met Gala because they are the new wave of celebrity, and it's definitely within character for the Met Gala to do this. Because as I said back in the 1980s, the Met Gala was criticized for being less socialites and more celebrities until the entire gala was essentially celebrities. Celebrities bring mainstream appeal, bring funding. A new generation is coming and a new generation's attention has to be drawn, and you can't exactly do that with the Kardashians forever. So inviting social media influencers makes sense. The evening has always been about fashion and about fundraising, and whoever is wearing the fashion, it doesn't matter as long as it is still about the art, about the message, about the conversation, about the fashion, about the haute couture, about the fundraising, and about the Costume Institute and its exhibitions. Ultimately, fashion and art is forever evolving, and the Met Gala, to me at least, has acted like a living historical representation of this evolution for decades, and it's going to keep carrying on. Evolution is inevitable, change is inevitable, and to fight it is a waste of breath. So the Costume Institute is going to evolve, the exhibitions are going to evolve, the Met Gala itself is going to evolve, and the guest list is going to change, and because of this, we are going to have new reigning queens, new reigning kings, and new reigning majesties, and I am so excited to see who they are and see this evolution. And with all of that said and done, that is it. That is all of my research, all of my opinions in one gorgeous video. Have we had fun? That is almost everything. It of course isn't everything because I would really have to go through year by year and tell you exactly what have been my favorite pieces and what have been my least favorite pieces of every year, because to put all of the Met Gala in one video, you would be here for a week. And even then, I don't think that would be everything. Researching for this video, in all honesty, was so much fun because there was some stuff that I just had no idea about. I didn't know who Diana Vreeland was. Sorry, everyone. I didn't know who Eleanor Lambert was. Sorry, everyone. Anna Wintour, I knew of, but I didn't understand the importance and some of her career, but now I do, and it's just absolutely fascinating. And getting to re-see some of the garments again was absolutely gorgeous, and 2014 Rihanna garment is still one that blows my absolute mind. I'm still hypnotized, but I'm also really excited to see if Rihanna does come back for this year or if Beyonce does come back for this year. I'm not too sure about Beyonce because maybe she's just outgrown it and she's not really interested, but I will be excited to see nonetheless. I will also be excited to see who who out of the social media influencers attends, because in my opinion, it's inevitable. They are going to be attending. It just depends who. I know who I don't want to attend, and I know who I do want to attend, but who actually attends isn't up to me. It's up to Anna Wintour. And out of all of that, I'm also really excited to see the conversation pieces, as I specified. There's just a lot of things that I'm really excited to see, and researching for this video, there was just some cheeky nuggets where I was like, oh, that's fun. Like Diana Vreeland throwing something at Ali McGraw and her catching it and throwing it back at her, and Diana saying that she was the rudest girl she's ever met. There's just so many fun facts in this video. You can tell that I've really enjoyed researching for a video when I just don't want to stop filming the video and when I don't want to shut up. But one thing that I am actually intending on doing is doing a reaction video to this year's Met Gala, because as I said, I am so excited and I want to share my excitement with you guys. So I'm going to be doing that. But please let me know what you think of this video. Let me know of all of your thoughts, all of your opinions. If there was something where you were like, I didn't know that happened. If there's any of my thoughts and opinions that you disagree with, because maybe you think that the blister dress that Beyonce wore was unforgivable, and I'm sitting there being like, ah, stunning. But please let me know what you think of this video, because I genuinely want to hear all of your thoughts, all of your opinions, and I of course want to know what you want me to talk about next, because this video was requested and I am so glad that it was. Whoever that was, because I can't find the comment anymore because I'm the worst YouTuber ever. Whoever that was, thank you so much. I loved researching for this video. I feel like I've satisfied quite a lot of my Swiss cheese brain holes, and I'm very, very happy right now. So thank you very much. So please let me know down in the comments below what you want me to talk about, because you, of course, as always, may know of a Swiss cheese brain hole of mine that exists that I don't know exists unless you tell me. And once again, thank you so much for your patience, your love and support with me not doing my makeup on camera today, but I really just needed to take some pressure off of myself, and now that I am at the end of filming this video, I think that for me it was a good decision to not do my makeup at the same time, because it meant that I didn't have to strain my brain as much as I typically do. I do like straining my brain, don't get me wrong, but it was nice to have a bit of a break for this video. I will be back as soon as I can when I'm feeling a little less McSpicy. And thank you so much for watching this video, because I know that my content is typically on the longer side and you'll love when I tell you how much footage I have. Your girl, has chatted for a cheeky 7 hours and 7 minutes. I didn't think I had that much information in this video. But thank you so much for sitting through this whole entire video, because I have 7 hours worth of footage and I have no idea how long this video is going to be overall, and your time is so valuable, your time is so precious, because money you can always earn back, time you can't. So I appreciate you wasting some of your time on me. And with all of that said and done, I just hope that you are having the most fantastic day, fantastic week, fantastic month, fantastic year, and I hope that you are doing as fantastic as always. Bye everyone.